Well, with me now is the campaign director for North West Rail, Roger Jones. Roger, welcome to Channel M today. Now, this is clearly very good news, and I know it's been lobbied for by your organisation and across the board, the political parties. Have Network Rail come up with all you would want to in this report?
Yes, I think they have. I mean, they did have choices, but what they decided ultimately was that they wanted the choices to surround Victoria Station because, as you said previously in other programmes, Victoria really is a mess compared to Piccadilly. So, one, the refurbishment of Victoria will go ahead. Two, they'll link Victoria up with Piccadilly, which is very important. Three, they'll provide extra platforms at Piccadilly through platforms above what they've got now, and an extra platform at Manchester Airport. So it's really good news, not just for the city centre, but if you're travelling from Leeds, say to Liverpool or to Sheffield or wherever, then as you come to the city centre you do get a bottleneck situation. What this will do will open it up, so it'll be great for everybody.
We've heard this kind of thing before, though. We're going to get all this money, it's going to be great, and it doesn't happen. How confident are you that Network Rail will come up with the goods this time?
Well, I think the surprising thing about this is Network Rail do insist the money will be there from 2014, but what they can't predict is the result of the general election, nor what the new government will do with budget. So all I would say is, subject to a new government trying to stop this happening, there is a very good chance for it because the money is already budgeted for, and we don't need any money until 2014 for the next 3 or 4 years after that. And 600 million, I know it's a fortune to you and I and everybody, but if you look what's being spent in London in the South East, it really isn't a great deal of money.
Well, I was chairing debates on this very issue at the Tory party conference and at the Liberal Democrats conference, and there was cautious support, I would say, from both parties. I didn't go to the Labour one. Are they in favour? Well,
I think that's the key to it. If I could say to your listeners now, if we can lobby MPs of all three major political parties and say that whatever happens at the general election, we want their commitment, because this is investment for the whole of the north of England. It's not just for Manchester, for the whole of the north of England. And why shouldn't we have our share of that national cake? That's what we want.
Well, I mean, you will get cross-party support. All MPs will fight for their region above their party on an issue like this. I mean, Graham Stringer has said he will.
Yes.
Susan Williams has said she will if she's returned.
Yes, but I know MPs as well as you do, and we also know there's a big influx of new MPs. And the trouble with transport, it's never the #1 priority, because you'll have Mr Cameron or Gordon Brown saying, well, we'll try and protect education, we'll try and protect the health service. But every time they protect the big services, it's transport that tends to suffer. And in a recent poll of Conservative MPs who are standing at the next election, they put transport down at 16th out of 19 priority areas.
So if Mr Cameron becomes the Prime Minister, we're not looking like we'll get this money then?
Well, we're going to have to lobby very hard, and I would say to everybody, the time to do it is now, before the general election is announced. Let's try and get in the ribs of the MPs and try and make sure we get that support.
Finally, Roger, if budgets are cut, will the North take precedent over the South? Will they give us some money at all?
Well, if you want to upset ministers, all you have to tell them is that the South East and London always get more than we do in the North, and they get very annoyed and very upset, and they get upset because it's true. And it's been true for years. And I think it's the other way around. I think members of Parliament in London lobby far more successfully for their capital city than the rest of MPs do. And the more we can get North West MPs to fight for the North West, the better it'll be.
Thank you very much indeed, Roger. We look forward to the progress, and let's hope we're successful.